As a social psychologist, I can promise you this. In 10 minutes, you'll learn how to not feel bad while eating alone. You made dinner, technically. There is food, it is warm, and at least one vegetable saw the inside of the pan. This is already better than Tuesday. You sit down, the room gets quiet, your fork taps the plate, and somehow it sounds loud enough to be reported to the police. So you reach for your phone. You open one app, close it, open another app, then return to the first app in case civilization changed during those 6 seconds. And a strange thought appears. Why does eating alone sometimes feel so wrong? You were hungry. Now you have food. The mission should be complete. Your body asked for fuel and you delivered it in a bowl with only a small burn mark. 5 stars. But a meal is not always just fuel. Sometimes it is also company, routine, comfort, family, culture, memory, or proof that another human knows you are still alive, which is a lot of work for soup. First, an important rule. Eating alone is not automatically sad, unhealthy, or a cry for help. Some people love it. No small talk, no sharing fries, no person saying, "I don't want dessert," then attacking your cake like they are CIA and the cake contains state secrets. Chosen time alone can feel peaceful. You can eat what you want, when you want, while wearing the formal dinner clothing known as the good sweatpants. The strange feeling often appears when eating alone was not really the plan. Maybe you moved to a new city. Maybe you work from home, where your closest lunch partner is a printer that begged for cyan cartridge since 2015. Maybe your children moved out. Maybe a relationship ended. Or maybe everyone you know is simply busy at the same time, which is one of modern life's greatest inventions. The difference matters. Being alone is a fact. Loneliness is a feeling. You can have one without the other. You can feel calm at a table for one, or lonely at a table for 12 while your relatives debate why are you single. I see you. So why can a solo meal carry so much weight? One clue is hidden in the word companion. It comes from old words meaning, roughly, a person you share bread with. That is beautiful. Friendship is so connected to food that we built it into the language. It is also unfair to people avoiding carbs, but history was not thinking about them. No one should be thinking about them. There is even a serious word for eating together, commensality. It means sharing a table or meal. Scientists needed 5 syllables for lunch with Kevin because the lab had funding left. Across many cultures, meals help mark who belongs. Families welcome people with food. Friends catch up over coffee. Weddings have feasts. Funerals have food. We can eat even with one of us is dead. Which is wild. We use food to celebrate, comfort, thank, apologize, flirt, and make meetings last 40 minutes longer. This social meaning begins early. Most of us did not arrive in the world knowing how to find a sandwich. Someone fed us. As children, meals were mixed with faces, voices, rules, and attention. Sit down. Try one bite. Stop giving peas to the dog. The dog is no addicted to peas. Over time, the brain may learn that eating often comes with people. Then there is our deeper past. Early humans likely had many reasons to gather around food. Finding food took work. Large foods could be shared. Cooking may have brought people to one place for longer periods. Sharing could support children, partners, relatives, and useful friendships. And if something dangerous was nearby, a group offered more eyes and ears, especially ears. Early humans did not have neighborhood alert apps, so screaming was the premium plan. This does not prove that your sad desk salad is caused by a prehistoric fear of being eaten by a leopard. Evolution does not leave us neat instruction cards. Researchers have different ideas about when and why food sharing became so important. Cooperation, family care, trade, safety, status, and simple opportunity may all have played a part. So the cautious answer is this. Humans have shared food for a very long time. Our minds may still connect meals with safety and belonging. But ancient history is only part of the story. Modern life is doing plenty of work too. Look at a restaurant. Many tables are built for 2 or 4. A table for 1 often looks like the restaurant lost a chair on a way to a toilet. Movies show family dinners, romantic dinners, business lunches, and groups of friends laughing over salads that nobody actually eats. They rarely show one person silently finishing rice over the sink, even though that person is saving water by not using a plate. Because shared meals are treated as the standard, eating alone in public can make some people feel watched. Usually, other diners are thinking about their own food, but the mind is an unpaid public relations worker. It keeps asking, what story are they telling about me? Probably no story. The man at table 6 is trying to remember whether he locked his car. Culture can also change the meaning. In South Korea, for example, honbap became a common term for eating alone, alongside restaurants and media made for solo diners. A behavior can feel less strange when a culture gives it a name, a seat, and perhaps a fire under a tiny grill. The setting matters too. Eating alone at a sunny cafe by choice may feel free. Eating alone in the house, not so much. Studies of bereaved people describe how cooking may lose its purpose when there is no longer someone to cook for. The same recipe can carry a person's voice, habits, and absence. That is not your brain being weak. That is memory doing its job with terrible timing. Remote work creates another version. In an office, lunch may happen because other people stand up and say, "Food?" At home, nobody says it. You answer one more message, then another, and suddenly lunch is 3 almonds eaten above a keyboard. Changing households can do it too. A student leaves home, a parent becomes an empty nester, a couple works different shifts, a person relocates and has not yet found their people. The food is present, but the old pattern is missing. And patterns matter. Experiments suggest that small food rituals can increase enjoyment. A favorite plate, lighting a candle, making tea the same way, or sitting somewhere on purpose can tell the brain this is a meal, not an accident involving cheese. Other research finds that people often eat more with friends or family than when alone. With strangers, they may eat less. Apparently, the human appetite has a guest list. That does not mean more is always better. It means other people can change our pace, attention, comfort, and choices without us noticing. One small study even found that older adults ate more snacks and rated them as tasting better when facing a mirror or a picture of themselves instead of a blank wall. The sample was small, so please do not replace your family with 12 mirrors and call it science. But it hints at something useful. The feeling of company is not a simple on and off switch. A voice, a face, a familiar place, or a bit of activity around us may change the mood of a meal. So what can you actually do when dinner feels cold, even though the potatoes are dangerously hot? Start with the meal happening now. Do not aim to repair your entire social life before dessert. That is too much pressure for pudding. Move away from the work screen if you can. Put the food on a plate you like. Turn on a warm light. Open a window. Play music, a calm podcast, or a familiar show, like this one. I beg you watch some more. Not because a screen is a human friend, but because silence is not a moral achievement. Create one tiny ritual. Fold the napkin. Pour water into a real glass. Add hot sauce with the focus of a surgeon. Say, dinner is served, even if the only guest is you and you have already complained to management. You could send a photo of the meal to a friend. Not a perfect photo, a real one. I made this. It looks suspicious, but I am going in. That small message turns a private moment into a shared thread. If grief is sitting with you, you do not have to chase it from the table. You might cook one dish the person loved, use their old mug, or eat somewhere that does not carry the same memories. Either choice is allowed. There is no correct way to miss someone while holding a fork. That is immediate relief. Make this meal feel a little warmer, calmer, or more chosen. Next comes near-term connection. Not host a 12-person dinner party every Wednesday. That is how you turn loneliness into a problem. Think smaller. Ask one coworker to have lunch on a video call once a week. Meet a friend for breakfast instead of waiting for the mythical free evening when both calendars align. Eat in the break room. Try a community table, a quiet cafe, or the same lunch place often enough that faces become familiar. You can also attach food to contact that already exists. Call a parent while chopping vegetables. Bring a snack to a neighbor. Suggest soup after a class. If a full shared meal feels too intimate or tiring, start with coffee, fruit, or a 10-minute walk. Connection does not have to arrive carrying a roast chicken. Finally, build structural support. Small things that repeat. A monthly potluck, a Sunday breakfast call, a regular lunch with one friend. volunteering at a community kitchen, a cooking class, a faith group, hobby group, sports club, or local cafe where showing up again is normal. The magic is not the size of the event, it is the return. One giant dinner can be lovely, but belonging often grows from the boring miracle of seeing the same people again. If eating alone has led to ongoing loss of appetite, skipped meals, major weight change, or deep sadness, it may help to talk with a doctor, therapist, dietitian, or someone you trust. Sometimes the problem is bigger than table lighting, and you deserve support bigger than table lighting. But if you simply like eating alone, congratulations, nothing needs fixing. The goal is not to make every meal social. A meal alone can be restful, private, creative, and completely normal. You are allowed to enjoy your own company. You are also allowed to dislike the situation without disliking yourself. Maybe that is the real answer. Eating alone can feel strange because a meal is never only what is on the plate. Your stomach sees dinner, your mind sees a table, and quietly checks who is missing. Sometimes nobody is missing, and sometimes someone is missing. In that case, you do not need to rebuild a village tonight. Warm the room. Make the meal feel chosen. Send one message. Find one repeating place. And if all else fails, remember, somewhere in the world, another person is also eating pasta from the pot. Like, for example, me.